besides being two very famous American musicians. Post Malone and Chris Brown are powerful artists who have built big fortunes. But the question is, which of the two leads a more luxurious life? In this video, you will see a fierce battle between Post Malone and Chris Brown. So, let's get to the fight. Before we get started, I challenge you. You have to click on subscribe and activate notifications, check the option all. But you have to do that in less than 5 seconds. You got it? And if you can, write in the comments #AllAboutSubscribe. Alright, let's get started. Overspending. Both singers are quite fond of splurging with jewelry and extravagant purchases. But which one of them spends more money? Chris Brown, on the other hand, seems to be absurdly fond of buying sneakers. He has a huge closet surrounded by shelves from floor to ceiling with countless pairs. If he wore a different model every day of the year, he would certainly have a few years without repeating his shoes. His closet must really be worth a fortune. Besides shoes, he also likes to wear designer clothes. In a photo he posted on Instagram, Brown is wearing a monogrammed jumpsuit and a canvas bomber jacket by Gucci for a total look worth $5,800. As for being able to carry his accessories in style, he has a Louis Vuitton airplane-shaped bag, an item that costs a whopping $39,000. When it comes to jewelry, the rapper is no exception either. He has several luxurious watches to compose his costume, such as a white ceramic Richard Mille with 100 limited units existing in the world. It is no wonder that it costs $150,000. Another watch he owns is an 18K white gold Richard Mille, which has only 20 units produced entirely by hand. And it is because of its rarity that the accessory is worth around $750,000. Post Malone is not far behind in this dispute either. In a photo shoot for GQ, for example, he wore a flashy green look valued at over $2,200. In the same shoot, he wore a suit and shoes by Dolce & Gabbana, pieces that together were valued at more than $5,700. But his passion is watches. He has a huge collection, starting with the Rolex Sea Dweller, a model valued at about $12,000, which he got for his birthday. Another model in his collection is the Rolex Day-Date 40, with a gold bracelet full of sparkles, which costs about $50,000. He also owns a Rainbow Daytona by Rolex, a very colorful and stylish model that the rapper loves to wear, and this beautiful watch is valued at about $100,000. Upping the ante a bit, Post owns a Patek Philippe Aquanaut, a very modern and discreet watch that can cost up to $170,000. From the same brand, Malone acquired a Nautilus model, all studded with sparkles, a very flashy and expensive piece that costs almost $800,000. And it doesn't stop there. From Richard Mille, the rapper also owns a Bubba Watson model, with an all-white bracelet that costs about $500,000. And from the same brand he still owns another model, the Tourbillon, a super light and modern watch that is valued at more than $820,000. And his most expensive watch of all is also from the Richard Mille brand, and it is the Tourbillon Skull Asia Edition model, which costs no less than $1 million. Besides, of course, the huge variety of rings and jewelry that he collects and that surely cost a great fortune, since several pieces were made exclusively for him. Since they both like to spend and flaunt, we will consider it a draw. Current mansion. The two singers Post Malone and Chris Brown are powerful men who may have beautiful villas. But which one of them has invested more money in his real estate portfolio? Post Malone owns, for example, a house high up in the mountains in the state of Utah in the United States. The property, which was built in bunker style and apocalypse-proof, has 6.75 acres, where the singer can enjoy various perks, such as his extensive backyard with a swimming pool. The property has 5 bedrooms, and the master suite has 2 living rooms, including a fireplace to warm up the cold days, which are many in this region. The outdoor area has several environments, with another fireplace for people to gather and talk, a deck with a panoramic view, a swimming pool, several sun loungers, a gourmet space, and a tennis court. This huge property cost Post Malone about $3 million and was undoubtedly a good investment, since the artist uses his house not only for relaxation and leisure time but also for work and even interviews. Chris Brown currently lives in Tarzana, a district of Los Angeles, California, USA. The property has more than 0.75 acres of land and 8,300 square feet of living space and consists of 6 bedrooms with floor-to-ceiling glass windows that make up great natural landscaping and an impressive 8 bathrooms, including the toilet. Everywhere you can enjoy a beautiful view of the city and the mountains. As could not be otherwise, Chris Brown has drawn graffiti on the external and internal walls of the residence since he is passionate about this kind of art. The paintings reveal his feelings and personality, making him feel truly at home. To have fun on his days off, the singer has a game room with an arcade, as well as a home theater room with armchairs for 14 people. In the external area, there is also a basketball court that also serves as a backdrop for his clips and a space for parties to receive his friends. To enjoy the sunny days, Chris Brown can have fun in the saltwater pool with a spa tub. In this area, there are also 2 fireplaces to keep warm on colder days. Currently, some sources estimate that Chris Brown's house should be worth around $4.6 million. Since Chris Brown's mansion is worth more, point to him. Cars. Both music stars have enough money to invest in luxurious cars. But which of the two has a more expensive garage? One of the simpler vehicles in Christopher's garage is a Rezvani tank, a military-style SUV built with safety in mind. A striking feature of this automobile is its night thermal vision. And to acquire this robust automobile, one must fork out around $155,000. Another car that belongs to Chris Brown is the Rezvani Beast, a vehicle that was born on the track and designed for the roads, which has 500 horsepower and is all coated in carbon fiber. And the base value of this machine is $160,000. He also has a Porsche 911 Turbo, a very coveted car that reaches a top speed of 198 miles per hour and accelerates from 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds. And to own such a sports car, one has to invest about $230,000. Raising the bar even higher, the rapper has a Lamborghini Huracan that has been customized by the company RDB. The transformation was amazing, with the car being covered with a print of pyramids that reflect different colors depending on the position of the vehicle. It is impossible not to notice this emblematic sports car driving through the streets of Los Angeles. And not to mention the amount paid for the customization. To acquire such a machine, you need to invest around $300,000. Another car owned by Chris Brown that has undergone new finishes from this same company is his Lamborghini Aventador Extra Large, a 750 horsepower vehicle. The colors chosen for this gradient were lilac and blue, giving a youthful look to the bodywork and wheels. And to buy this model of car, not counting the customization, it is necessary to pay something around $500,000. The singer has also been caught on the streets by paparazzi driving a Bugatti Veyron, one of the most expensive and desired supercars in the world. No wonder this treatment costs more than a whopping $1.5 million. But nothing compares to Post Malone's automobiles. He likes old cars and has already been seen in a 1968 Chevrolet C10, and although his car looks quite worn out, it can cost around $50,000. Not only that, but the artist also owns a 1992 model Ford Explorer, and although he bought this vehicle for only $2,000, Post had the machine customized to look just like him, and the customization cost a total of $75,000. Speaking of more modern vehicles, Post owns a Hennessy Velociraptor, a huge 6x6 pickup truck, and one of the brand's most iconic cars. Malone opted for the white-colored model, and the vehicle, along with the customizations done for the rapper, sum up to an amount of $450,000. And it doesn't stop there. The music star also owns a Rolls-Royce Phantom, an imposing and classic vehicle that costs an average of $455,000. Upping the ante a bit, Post Malone owns a Lamborghini Aventador SV, a super modern car to which he has even added custom wheels. This machine can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles in an impressive 2.7 seconds, and to acquire it the musician had to fork out $500,000. Another car in his collection is the Lincoln Continental, a classic 1966 model, which also underwent modifications to become the way the artist wanted it to be. And with all the customizations, the vehicle is valued at $650,000. But without a doubt, The most expensive model the rapper has ever owned in his garage is the Bugatti Chiron, a super-fast machine capable of reaching the impressive speed of 260 miles per hour. This beautiful car is valued at a whopping $3 million. Considering the price of Post Malone's cars, he wins this round. Jet plane. Many music celebrities prefer to buy their plane to travel in more comfort and privacy. Chris Brown, for example, some sources claim that he has his own private plane, while other sources say that the rapper charters flights. What is really known is that he uses the Gulfstream IV model airplane for his trips, an executive twin-engine plane for long-haul flights, and full of amenities for a smooth and comfortable trip. This aircraft is worth around $38 million, and if Chris Brown rents this aircraft, he pays around $110,000 per flight. Post Malone, in turn, has already been seen in a private jet, the Gulfstream G4, a beautiful and sophisticated twin-engine high-performance business aircraft with a medium size and intercontinental range. The vehicle can comfortably carry 20 passengers. The aircraft is one of the most modern models on the market today for private use, which certainly influenced the choice of the mega-famous rapper to acquire it. With a range of almost 7,000 kilometers, the vehicle can travel long distances without having to stop for gas. And to obtain such a luxurious jet, it is necessary to invest something around $40 million. But Malone probably just charters this jet. Since it is not known whether the singers own their own aircraft, we will consider it a draw. Other properties. In this round, we will evaluate other properties that were once homes to the singers. Post Malone has lived, for example, in a 5-bedroom mansion in the city of Los Angeles in the state of California. The almost 4,100 square foot property has a very extravagantly decorated living room, as well as a lot of artwork scattered around, which seems to be just Malone style. The TV room is more intimate, and the bathrooms are decorated in opposite colors and have a modern shower and jacuzzi. And although it is not known how much the artist paid to rent the place, the mansion is valued today at almost $4 million. The rapper has also spent some time in another mansion in Los Angeles, in a region that is highly coveted by Hollywood artists. The 11,200 square foot property is the dream of many people. After all, it is a modern and extremely luxurious property, with a privileged view of the city. The hall already draws attention upon entering the house, with a very striking chandelier, and the living room is very spacious and comfortable, with a minimalist and modern decor, having a huge fireplace to make the environment cozy. The house also has a giant wine cellar for up to 1,000 bottles and a cinema with several armchairs and a movable screen. But what really draws attention in the estate is the outdoor area, which has an infinity pool and is a great place to relax. It is not known how much Post Malone paid in rent at the time he lived there, but because the mansion is now valued at $26 million, you can imagine that he paid a large fortune. Chris Brown, on the other hand, once had a house located in the prime residential neighborhood of the Hollywood Hills in the city of Los Angeles, California. The modern property is on a small, steep lot, which brought as an alternative a vertical house project divided into 6 levels that were very well used. There are 2,800 square feet of internal space, with 3 well-decorated bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. The property has a lot of personality, with the presence of many colors and graffiti drawn on the walls. Outside, what draws a lot of attention is the pool in a not very common shape, being quite long, an ideal place to relax. It is not known for sure how much Chris Brown paid for this property, but when he sold it in 2013, he pocketed $1.7 million. Considering that Post Malone was only renting real estate, while Chris Brown owns his property, point to him. Business. Both singers Post Malone and Chris Brown have other sources of income, being successful businessmen. Post Malone has, for example, a business venture together with his friends in the wine business. They have launched a French rose wine called Maison and Degree 9, a name chosen by Malone. The drink was a success, as 50,000 bottles were sold in just 2 days, demonstrating the potential of the brand. In addition, the artist has partnerships with the brands Arnett, a famous line of glasses, and also with the footwear brand Crocs. Post Malone also ventures into the world of acting and has made appearances on TV and in some films, one of them being the animated Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse, of which he is also part of the soundtrack. and these jobs must have earned him a good fee. In 2019, the rapper teamed up with the Bud Light beverage brand to develop an exclusive clothing collection that had limited units, which certainly generated a lot of profit for the singer. Moreover, the artist has, on his Instagram account, more than 23 million followers, and if he wants, he can earn a lot of money by advertising for different brands. Meanwhile, Chris Brown has already told in interviews that he owns 14 units of the Burger King fast food franchise, which guarantees him a good financial return. Taking into consideration that the average annual profit of such a franchise in the United States is $175,000, the artist can receive an estimated $2.4 million per year from all his franchises. For someone as wealthy as Chris Brown, this income may be considered quite small, but it already guarantees him some extra money. In addition, the artist launched his own branded clothing line called Black Pyramid in 2012, which is still producing and selling stylish and youthful looks today. Chris Brown has also partnered with retailer SoFlo Snacks, launching his own limited edition breakfast cereal called Breezy's Cosmic Crunch, which will be sold with award codes. A great way for the singer to promote his products and brands is on social media, such as Instagram, where he has over 138 million followers. Since both artists have extra sources of income, point to both of them. Net worth. In this round, we will finally find out which of the two singers is the richer today. Would it be Chris Brown or Post Malone? Christopher, for example, has been making money from music since he was 16 years old, and his biggest source of income is from his concerts and tours that gather huge crowds. Some sources claim that he receives for each performance a fee ranging from $300,000 to $500,000, depending on the date, occasion, and the size of the audience. In addition to this, the star also gives performances commonly called residencies, which consist of several more intimate performances at a specific location, which in Chris Brown's case takes place at a nightclub in Las Vegas. Not to mention the money he rakes in from playing his music in music videos on the internet, such as on streaming platforms like Tidal, Spotify, Apple Music, and Deezer, and on his YouTube channel, which has more than 24 million subscribers and almost 15 billion total views. And even though some sources point out that Chris Brown's net worth is $60 million, with the standard of living he leads and his varied sources of income, his fortune is probably higher. Post Malone has also been making a lot of money. To get an idea, just on his YouTube channel, Post Malone has almost 24 million subscribers, and adding up all the videos, he already has more than 10 billion views, which may have earned him some good money. On Spotify, the artist has more than 50 million monthly listeners, and his 10 most played songs add up to more than 10 billion plays, which can also earn him a very high profit. But certainly, the singer's biggest source of income is with his concerts and tours, where he gathers real crowds. To get an idea of the figures, according to Forbes magazine, before the 2020 social isolation, the artist was making an impressive $1.3 million per performance. And according to some sources, despite having a relatively new career, Post Malone's fortune is already $60 million, a figure that is only likely to grow with such success. Since the two singers have similar fortunes, we will again consider it a tie. However, in this video we are evaluating who is more ostentatious and leads a more luxurious life, so let's add up the points. At the end of this fight, we had 5 points for Post Malone and 6 points for Chris Brown, and he was the champion. But if you believe that there are still other arguments to defend one of the two, right here below your best justification. Hey, you like the video? So don't forget about leave your like and comment, and tell some suggestions of another videos, and hopefully we gonna do it. All about channel Dios to satisfy your curiosity.